Welcome back to the Mouth of the South. I'm your girl Shayna Maina, and today we are here at the iHeartMedia radio station in Augusta, Georgia, and I'm sitting next to Miss Monique, the radio personality. She's a mom, she's a playwright, and she's a program director. How are you today?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Thank you for having
me.
You're welcome. So let's get started into our conversation. How did you get started in radio, plays?
Okay, let's start with radio. So I'm originally from Flint, Michigan. I was a grown woman back then, and I was doing absolutely nothing with my life, and I was like, oh, I should probably do something. So I moved to Detroit from Flint, and I went to Specs Howard School of Broadcast Arts, where I finished. It's a trade school. Finished, got my first job in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, stayed there 2.5 years, left with a baby. And we moved to Augusta and stayed there about 10 years. Well, stayed here about 10 years, then got my first program director's position in Albany, Georgia. And then from Albany, Georgia, went to Montgomery, Alabama. It was kind of like a step up. I know you're probably like, Alabama, step up, but it was. Stayed in Alabama for about 2.5 years, then moved to Columbia, South Carolina, program director there, and still a radio personality on 100.1 The Beat in Columbia, 105.5 The Beat in Florence, South Carolina, and of course here at Power 107. I've been on the radio here on Power for about, how old is my son? 19, like 18 years. And I also fill in New Orleans and also Detroit, so yeah.
So how do you feel when people meet you and be like, oh, you're Miss Monique?
I'm like, thanks for listening. You know what I'm saying? Because if you wasn't listening, I wouldn't have a job.
Yes.
You feel me?
Yes. So what makes program directing so fun? And
well, the fun part, I guess, is the people up under me. You know, so I like to consider myself, of course, you know, we some boss chicks, but I don't want to necessarily be a boss. I want to be a leader. So that's what I enjoy most, leading people. Well, actually, you worked for me in Albany, Georgia. That was the longest 27 months of my life. But
you did good.
How was I as one of your leaders?
She was good. No complaints. It was all organized. Women run the world, let me tell you that. Like, we are very organized, we're structured, and we know what we want, and we're not going to stop till we get what we want.
Right, right. So, you know, I did you learn anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I learned a lot.
And so that's the thing, you know, being able to teach somebody some things that I was taught. So I love doing that as a program director.
I gotta add this to my bio. She was the first person for mass communications. I was like, Miss Monique, can I work with you at the radio station? She was like, come on in. I was like, okay. I was like, what am I going to school for? She's gonna teach me. So that was my lesson, you know, learning after that. Right. And then I changed my major and I was like, you know what, let me do something else. But since you're a boss chick, you know, you got these plays going on, you got radio, these plays. How did you get started in writing, directing?
So I have directed a couple of my plays, but I'm not really about that director life. I pay somebody to do that because it's a lot of work. But as far as writing the plays, I've been writing since I was young. And so it wasn't until like 2010 I, you know, would just write and shelf them and just, you know, like just write and okay, let me write something else. And then one of my pastors came to me and was like, I just don't understand. Why are you just writing them but not actually producing them, bringing them to life? And from that moment, from 2010, I started producing stage plays and probably had a play almost every year. Well, not during the pandemic, but up until this year. Still going strong. I enjoy it though.
What's one of your favorite plays you've written?
Build a Man. And that was the last one.
Okay.
Build a Man is definitely my favorite.
What was the lesson in that?
Well, the lesson, the joke here is that if you can't find a man, build him. Okay, but no, you can't in reality.
No,
but
you can't.
The lessons though is, you know, I mean, don't really, you know, judge somebody by what they got or what they don't have. So it was some lessons in that, and it was just fun. It was funny. These girls had so much going on, and it was fun. It was fun.
How many plays have you written in total? Well, that you produced.
That I produced. This one I got coming up is going to be my 11th.
11 plays.
It might be 12, but I'm almost sure 11 or 12.
So who is the artist that's coming here?
Oh, Major is in my next play. Okay. A national recording night. You know the song? This is why I love you.
So make sure y'all go
I love
check
that song.
Out.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
Thank you.
So you work with so many celebrities. You do radio. What is some of your favorite memorable moments with a celebrity that you have?
So my favorite is when I got to interview President Barack Obama.
Ooh.
So we were, our studios was in North Augusta, and he, his people called the studio phone and was like, hey, Miss Monique, we want to know if you want to interview our future president, blah, 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 because he had not been elected yet.
Oh, wow.
It was like a couple months before he got elected. So I was like, yeah. So I tell my then boss, Minnesota Fast, I'm like, oh my gosh, they just called me. They want me to interview Obama, blah, blah. So he's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going too. So if you know Fats, he's time management, it's just, But,
Man.
so I was like, well, I'm about to leave. And Cher came, me and Cher went together. We went down there, and we went into this, it was like a closet, because they were in Aiken. It was like it was a small room. And I went in there, was like, Anyway, so I interviewed him. After that, I left out. And when I came out, because it was like hundreds of people out there, and when I came out, they thought I was him. So it was like, and then it was like, do. But that was definitely a really memorable time. And my second one is Beyonce.
Yes.
So let me tell you about that one right quick.
Okay.
I really got about 3 more, but I'm just gonna keep it short and tell you about Beyonce. So Fats, once again, when he was my boss, he was like, we're going to see Beyonce. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. Because I wasn't really, it's a couple people I go cuckoo over.
Yeah.
But Beyonce was not her then, but now she like my bestie. But anyway, so I was like, okay. So I was like, yeah. So we get there to the concert, and we up in those rooms up top. And the record label dude came and was like, okay, so listen, we're about to take you guys in there to meet her. And I was like, we about to meet Beyonce for real. I'm thinking Fast was lying, you know what I'm saying? Or, I just didn't believe it.
Yeah.
So he was like, okay, when we go in, you go in 2 at a time. We're all in a straight line, but we go take a picture with her 2 people at a time.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, so it's me and Fats, my other boss and her husband, some other program directors and stuff too. And then when I was here in Augusta, I was the assistant program director. I wasn't the program director. I was Fats' assistant. So me and Fats stand there, and he's like, well, when it's our turn, I'm going to take my picture with her by myself. And I was like, I don't care. I want my picture with her by myself too.
Right.
So he went up there and they told us what to do. They was like, shake her hand, blah, 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 and say who you are and what station you're on.
Okay.
So we all waiting in line. And she walk in. When she walk in, I said, hey, Beyonce. And she was like, oh. So it was time for us to go up there. He went up there first. Hi, I'm Minnesota Fats, all that. So I was like, I'm ready. When I went up there, I was like, hi, I'm Miss Monique. I'm on Power 107 and also a playwright or something like that. I said, and she was like, Miss Monique, I've heard you on the radio before. You have a great voice. I almost died. I was like, Beyonce heard me on the radio.
Oh my God.
And I was like, thank you. So we got to taking our picture, right? So they told us, we're gonna take the picture with our cameras. So they was like, just stand there and take the picture. I was like, I got to switch my pose up. So I was like,
we gotta get cute.
I was like, and she was like, Oh, I guess I got to step my game up. That's what she said. I was like, hey, Beyonce. Anyway, but that was my Beyonce story. Yeah, but it was awesome. She was really sweet, though. Now I really, 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 really like her now.
So you do a lot of interviews on the radio. Who is your favorite artist that you have already interviewed, or who do you want to interview?
See, I know some people not gonna like to hear this one.
Uh-oh.
But I used to have a rapper crush on Mystical. But it's not a good time. It's not a good time to have a rapper crush on him because you know what he's in prison for. But yeah, but I did. I didn't really, want to believe that he did anything to any woman. But yeah, that was like one of my favorites. I really liked him.
Yeah.
The man right here.
Yeah.
But anyway, I like him from afar now because he is being accused of doing some bad things, so can't like him no more.
Hey.
Like that.
Hey.
I like his music though.
Right?
His music from back in the day was dope.
But as a person, gotta be careful.
Yes.
What is the biggest lesson you've learned of being a boss or a leader?
Listen more. I talk a lot. Yes, listen more. And listen more and, just have more empathy. Sometimes
You're busy. She's a busy lady.
I'm like, just sometimes I can be, I don't know, I do know the word, but I mean, it's like I'm really, really passionate about this. So like everything that I do, and sometimes I can come across
aggressive.
Yes, a little aggressive. And it's just that because I want people to
care.
Feel, yes, exactly, care like I care. So sometimes that I've learned to bring it down, listen, and understand what that person got going on. And everybody is not gonna be just as awesome as I am. No, I'm just kidding. But no, for real, it's like, I'm still learning though.
Yeah.
It's great though.
So what was that turning point for you that made you decide radio is it?
Well, it was basically, I got tired of sitting on the porch on the west side of Detroit drinking beer. And I was like, yeah, you should probably, because I knew that, like I had it in me, like I had something in me, but it just took me a minute to figure it out. So once God blessed me with another female to say, hey, did you hear about that school? And then I did the research to look that school up. And I found out, hey, it's not that expensive, but sometimes we won't do the research and we'll just wait on somebody to just give us something. And she did that, and I followed my dreams. And if only you knew how much time that I wasted. I'm not gonna tell you how old I am, but when I decided to get it together, I promise you, how old are you?
26.
It was after 26. So, and this is for, you too, and all the young girls out there, because I'm much older than you. Listen, you gotta get out there and you gotta do the research. God will bless you with some people, but still, like, if I can do it, if only you knew, people don't know my Flint, Michigan backstory. They have no idea the person that, I am, but the things that I went through back in the day. But I'm just a prime example if you really, really, really trust God and do some work too, because faith without works is dead. So, hey, you could do this too. That's a blessing. Whew, I love it.
Amen. So where can they follow you on social media at?
And they can follow me at iHeart Miss Mo. That's IHeartMissmo on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all that. And Miss Monique, MissMonique.
Yes, ma'am. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on the show. That is a wrap. I'll see y'all next time.